I am going to recreate Karlson, a well-known parkour milk-drinking FPS game made by popular game dev YouTuber Dani, because recently I remade Karlson in a week, and that got a lot of views. So it's time to milk this cow a little more, but this time in 2 weeks. Day 1, I started work on adding glow to make the game look good, but now I think I'm just high. So I adjusted some of the values. By that, I mean I just copied and pasted the environment from this video. Thus, the game now looks a lot better. Also, I'll be adding some maps and weapons never before seen in Karlson, so I guess you'll have to watch till the end to find out. Next, on day 2, I began work on downloading different sky images and adding them to the project to, well, create the sky. In contrast, I also played around with adding other images to the sky, like this one.
I will find you for making me a laughingstock, Dani.
The most difficult thing was trying to find an image that was seamless and doesn't make this overlapping gap. Eventually, I found one that works and makes the game look even better. Day 3, I adjusted some of the movement values, which is just a bunch of letters with math that some smart guy made up. And by adjusting them, and by adjust, I mean I just picked a value, adjusted it, and playtested.
T-3 seconds till liftoff. 3, 2, 1, liftoff.
Later, I fixed the movement values by adding acceleration to allow the player to pick up speed. Another thing I added on day 3 was the ability to slide, which increases your movement speed just like in real life. In addition, on day 4 I added some speed lines from the shader code by Elixirate. The reason for adding the speed lines is not only because it's in Karlson, but also this feature makes the game feel fast and fun along with increasing the FOV. Following this, on day 5 I ended up getting distracted by playing the best game on Steam. Second best game on Steam, Silicon Valley, a parkour, chili drinking FPS, which sounds a lot like Karlson, other than the fact that it's not an FPS and actually has nothing to do with Karlson. But other than that, it's a great game, so go download. Next to day 6, where I was still playing Silicon Valley, and even got up to 1 second off the world record for speedrun.com. On day 7, I added 4 new weapons in addition to the AT-48. The weapons I added were the pistol, shotgun, sniper, and yep, you guessed it, the banana gun. Psych, it's actually a thermal electric 6000 gun which uses bananas to power it, because duh, you know, that makes sense, right? No? Okay, I'll stop. So, I forgot to record day 8, but you can just assume I was being productive. Anyways, on day 9, I realized lots of people like to speedrun Karlson, and there's a timer in the game, so I decided on adding a timer to the top. But it didn't really work since I don't understand how to use delta time. While the timer was broken though, I ended up adding the player health and acceleration in the form of these 2 red squares. I also tried beating Karlson's world record, but that went as well as you might think. The next day, I fixed up the timer by multiplying delta time by 1000, and following this, I added a background image for the main menu, Arson, which is from Dani's subreddit, made by programmer 3418. I think this really represents what this game is. Basically, Then, on day 11, I began work on adding a new enemy model, because the current model is just like a bean from the one in Silicon Valley. So go download now, or else Dani will probably eat you. Moving forward, I also tried adding animations, but that didn't turn out so well. Besides, who needs animations? I mean, when I walk around in real life, I just use my telepathic powers to move around. At last, I ended up just adding a new enemy model for the enemy, without animations. Day 12, I made some props for the map, like a table, locker, roof vent, and roof fan. Wait, why is there a roof vent and a roof fan? That doesn't make any sense. Understandably, on day 13, I worked on modeling the 4 maps. Each of the different maps are different stages of Karlson. The first 2 maps are already in Karlson, but the next 2 aren't. The different stages are the facility, escaping the facility, the rooftops, and the sky. By the way, all of this came from a comment in my last video from Trollface. Finally, on the last day, day 14, I added some textures to the maps, like grass, concrete, and those white textures. I did struggle with this for some reason. Since the Karlson map was a complex shape, lining up the white textures with the map was a struggle. But later I asked a friend on Discord, and we sorted it out. Another thing I added was some particle effects from Godot's particle system, a great system for adding particles and making farts. But eventually those fart clouds turned into particles for bullets. Also, here are some fun errors I ran into. Why is the enemy up there? Get down. Thank you. Also, Why is Billy's head on top of the player? Why is Billy in the milk? Get out of the milk. And also, what is this Karlson model? Why does Blunder destroy my model? And why does the roof vent turn into a table whenever I touch it, and then Godot crashes when I try to delete it? Why? Why? Finally, after 3 weeks of work, I present to you Arson.
Hello,
Arson.
you're my prisoner and test subject. Ha 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 ha. Just kidding. Not really. This is your companion, Billy. Your only objective is to get to the milk as fast as you can. Well, good luck, and don't die. Let me introduce you to Billy's brother.
Wow, this game is fire. Bob Smith. A photo of Bob Smith. Lastly, I hope you enjoyed my suffering, and if you liked the video, then subscribe. And if you didn't like the video, then like the video, because,